Hey, welcome back. It's Miguel Gulen from TCA.org. And as you may recall, this is going to be the second video where I explore Microsoft Teams. I'm not pretending to be an expert. I'm just exploring Teams, and I've had a few requests from via Twitter and email. Hey, could you take a quick look at Microsoft Teams and show us what you're seeing? So I don't think that Microsoft Teams is completely done. It's June 22nd, 2017. So this is just my quick off-the-cuff observations. Before we get started, though, I wanted to touch on one of my favorite blog entries at the TCA Tech Notes blog. You can read it at tca.org/blog. And I guess back in April, I got this request from a colleague. He said, "I've just gotten this question from someone, and they wanted a sort of a basic technology or a basic list of technology skills." And I don't know if you can see it, but the text says, "Do you know by chance, or do you by chance know of a good basic list of tech skills that every teacher should know? If so, do you have a formal assessment of this?" Asked a TCA member recently of a colleague. And then they go on to say, "We're a Microsoft district." And I thought, wow, this is such a rich question. This is a wonderful question because you can answer it from a variety of perspectives, not just from Microsoft, but you could also look at the two other ecosystems, Google and Apple, and sort of explore that. But because this person asked from a Microsoft perspective, I was really excited about this, about being able to talk about shifting the conversation. And so, what are the basic tech skills teachers need to have? And I didn't think that was the real question that we need to be dealing with. Instead, I think the real question is, how do you fundamentally expect teachers to shift their teaching and learning for themselves, each other, and their students? And I think that question is a lot more fun one to answer. So, one way to do that is ask, how do students in classrooms today learn best? And this really, for me, puts the focus on our Generation Z students that are coming into our classrooms. And as you can see, teachers working with Generation Z have some changes to make in their classrooms because students expect to use digital media. That means creating videos and podcasts. And I can certainly tell you in my own experience with my own children that being able to create videos and share content on YouTube, that's where it's at. As early as 10 years old, even earlier than that, our kids have been growing up putting content online. And this is just, and they're much less inhibited than we are as adults who may be worried. Oh my gosh, I didn't. I used several thousand times in my presentation. I shouldn't post that. Then also the idea of learning through hands-on experiences, developing team building skills, solving real-world problems. And as I look at that list, I ask myself, what kind of professional development would I want to be a part of? What kind of learning opportunities would I want to be a part of as a younger student, K-12? And the answer is, I would want to be in professional development. I would want to be learning where I'm using digital media, where I'm learning through hands-on experiences, where I'm developing team building skills, and I'm solving real-world problems. So if we sort of step back and then we organize our basic tech skills around those particular expectations for how we can approach teaching and learning in K-12 and adult learning spaces, I think we are going to find a lot of opportunities there that we can take advantage of. And this particular response focuses on Microsoft tools. And Microsoft has just added Microsoft Teams. So if you haven't seen Microsoft Teams or explored it at all, you definitely want to head on over to education.microsoft.com and investigate the Meet Microsoft Teams. Or you can just join me and go to teams.microsoft.com. And I'm going to be using an app. So this is where I've actually created a class, Mr. Gulen's writing workshop. I've created some channels where I can drop in content. And one of the things that we noticed was that there is a class notebook, and that's sort of where we left off. We've taken a look at conversations, files, and assignments. Now if we look at the class notebook, this is going to enable us to use a OneNote. So I'm going to click on Setup Class Notebook, and just like before, if you've ever used OneNote or OneNote Class Notebook, you can see that there is a collaboration space, and this is a space where teachers can edit content and students can edit content. So it's a wonderful place to put content, so that way students can work together, in groups or on specific projects or tasks. So when we're talking about project-based learning or PBL, this is a place where they'll be able to interact with each other. The content library is a place where you as the teacher can publish course materials, and then students have access to it, but they can't get rid of it. I was just reading a comment on one of the videos that I'd made earlier, and they were saying, yeah, I put a PDF in the collaboration space and students accidentally wiped it out. Well, if you put those resources in the content library, then students can copy them to their own OneNote notebook section that's set up just for them. And those are called the student notebooks. And it's a private space so that they can work in that space, and they're the ones that are responsible for interacting with that content. And it'd be just like a student receiving a handout of some sort from the teacher and then placing it into their I'm going to really date myself, Trapper Keeper, or their 3-ring binder, or whatever it happens to be. So these are the 3 essential components of a OneNote Class Notebook. I'm going to click on Next, and the next step sort of invites you to set up private sections. Now I want to just step back for a second and point out that we're able to do this within Microsoft Teams, which, as you may recall, is replacing Microsoft Classroom, which was in preview mode and will be sort of phased out completely by July 31st. I think you'll still have access to your resources and things like that, but you won't be able to create new classrooms. So Microsoft Teams is that space. Now, when I come back into Class Notebook, I can see I can set up private sections like handouts, class notes, homework, quizzes. So it's up to you what sections you have. Obviously, these little X's would allow you to get rid of these sections. So, for example, if you don't believe in homework, you know that the research shows it's not that effective, you can just wipe that out and don't worry about it. And now we have a section for handouts, class notes, and quizzes. So again, it is up to you to decide what you're going to add in. I'm just going to leave it with these for exploration purposes, and we'll go ahead and move on. So I'm going to click on Create, and it'll say Getting Your Class Notebook Ready. And if you watched the first video in this series, you probably realized that when I created Group 1, I went in and started typing up notes. And so I'm going to click on Group 1, and when I went into Notes, it actually shows me a OneNote online notebook, and you can see that here are some notes. Today the team met regarding whatever. And if I click over here, I can see that there's additional spaces. Now it's very simple interface because it sort of removed all the OneNote stuff that usually pops up. But if I were to go to my OneNote Desktop and just quickly switch over to Mr. Goulin's writing workshop, you can see that Group 1's notes live in this collaboration space. That's that space where both the teacher and the students can collaborate and work. And then they can also put their notes. If I go back up to the top level, you can see there's not much here. There's collaboration space is the only thing that's available, but nothing else. And I suspect that the reason for that is that Microsoft Teams is still generating that class notebook. So you can see it's going to take a little bit, so it's not something you're going to necessarily jump into, but it looks like it's taking about a minute or two, maybe 3 minutes. And now we have Welcome to Class Notebook, and now we have the home, insert, draw, print, open, and desktop. And if I were to just quickly add a page here, and then let's go to each of these menus. With the home button in OneNote Online, I have access to a variety of fonts, and I can just start typing. At this point, I can do pretty much any of this. I can add tags and a lot more information here. I can also come in and insert, and you can see I can insert a table, I can insert pictures, a file printout, file attachments. So, if you had students, or if you had maybe a graphic organizer or concept map template that you wanted to insert, this would be something that you could use. You can also record audio if you wanted to record a quick audio welcome. One of the neat things is that in Class Notebook, you also can draw. And so, I can activate my pen, choose the color of the ink, select a thickness, and then, did I mention I flunked art in kindergarten? But there you go. So it's very easy to um, create content, and I would probably have to Teams, OneNote, and then conversations. You can probably guess what this map is about. It is about sort of the kind of tools. So those are again just some really quick ways to interact with your OneNote. And remember, if I were to come over here and click on Open in Desktop, it would switch me over to OneNote 2016. And let me just quickly close this notebook. I'm going to come back over to the web. Not the web, the app, sorry. Open in Desktop. It's going to give me this, Microsoft Office has identified a potential security concern. Well, it's okay, I went ahead and chose that. And when I click on that, it's going to start syncing all those resources and bringing it into OneNote 2016, or OneNote Desktop as it's now called. And we'll start to see that. Now, OneNote app, which is the free app, is one that we're going to explore a little bit later on in another video. Really offers some nice modifications and things, and I've been using it extensively. It just feels less cumbersome, a little bit faster, and everything else. But OneNote 2016 is just phenomenal. So hey, guess what? There's my awesome artwork. So here's my concept map and little guy there. And notice that since I'm now working in the full version of or that setup class notebook, I can see that I've got collaboration space, content library, TCA student 22, TCA student 31. And that's important because when I start working in class notebook, I'll be able to review student work here. So I go into collaboration space, and there's group 1 notes as well as the using collaboration space information. If I go back up, then I can switch over to content library. And in the content library, remember, this is where I can actually put different documents that as a student I'm able to interact with and explore and check out. So I hope this quick intro to Class Notebook within Microsoft Teams has been helpful for you. I'm going to go ahead and bring this video to a close so that we can jump in and start exploring a little bit more within the OneNote app. I think that Microsoft Teams is pretty straightforward. There's not. I'm hoping that, and this hope is expressed because I've heard other educators say, gosh, I wish we had a grade book of some sort in here. They would make it very easy for me to see all the grades for my class for different assignments. And I'm going to guess, I'm just going to go out on a limb here, I'm just speculating that perhaps that if that's not available, it's going to be very easy to put or sync your grades that you collect, whether you're using OneNote or the assignments in Teams, into your student information system or your electronic gradebook or some other learning management system that you may have. So I know that Microsoft Classroom and Class Notebook could integrate with different LMSs. I'm going to hope that the future has that in store for Microsoft Teams. So thanks for watching. You can again find my information online at www.tca.org/blog. If you like, you can follow me on Twitter, and I'm actually just go to twitter.com/mguhlin, and you'll find a variety of resources here that I tweet out periodically. I look forward to connecting with you online. Thanks for watching.